Hello everyone and welcome to another video on my channel PokePidge, and as you can tell by my attire, it's a nice relaxed video time. Recently I hit 300 subs on YouTube and Twitter on the same day, thanks to a hell of a lot of help from people probably watching this video, and I can't thank you enough. It's genuinely, it's fantastic really. You know, around January time I think I had about 50 subs. I was just doing it to a few family and friends that were enjoying it, and it was just a nice little hobby. But now I've met a hell of a lot more friends from it, and obviously 300 from 50 in January to now, and it's, you know, like June, that's like 5 months. It's, you know, it's essentially like getting 50 subs a month. It's insane. I can't imagine it, and it is down to the help from you guys, people that retweet all the videos, people that watch the videos and comment, fantastic. People that support everything that all of us do. The small PokeTuber community is fantastic for that. And yeah, all the people that regularly come back to watch my videos, thank you. They've obviously been more of playthroughs, the Go Lock Challenge recently, rather than scripted videos, but that's just because of time. Obviously lost job in December and everything, people know this. Now work in the evening, study during the day for a computing course. So, you know, obviously time is of the essence. And I don't really have the time to sit here and do a big old scripted video. I have time to do Go Locks and I'll carry that on. But either way, thank you for everyone that's helped me get to this milestone. This fantastic 300 milestone. I was just happy to get 100, to be honest. That was great. But to get 300, amazing. So in celebration of this, I said I would do a Q&A. A lot of people do this sort of thing when they hit certain milestones. I've never really done one myself on this channel. We did one with Trevor. That went great. I interviewed him. Do feel free to watch that if you want to. Don't know why you would. He's a terrible man. But go ahead if you want to. Either way, this is my Q&A. This is a PokePidge Q&A. So I put a tweet out there on Twitter, obviously. And a post out on Facebook as well for family and friends. And I have got I think it's about 10 or 12 questions here, and I'm just going to go through them and answer them the best I can. So without further ado, let's get into the Q&A. So first up, someone called Mikey Jenkins, or otherwise known as my brother, has asked, if you could only play one Pokemon game forever, or every single Pokemon game once and only once, which would you choose? Which is a great question, really, isn't it? Like, you can, okay, one for the rest of your life, or you can only play them all once more each, and that's it. I'd want the prolonged play. I don't want to just play each of them once and then that's it. Because obviously then that means as well, if there's a new game out, I play it once and I never go back to it again, and that's horrible. If I could only play one Pokemon game forever, it'd be a game with a Nat Dex in it, so that rules out Gen 8, and the Let's Go games. So Gen 7 gets the most value for money for the amount of Pokemon, but X and Y are my favourites, and they've got like 621 odd Pokemon in there that you can use. So do you know what? I'll probably go X or Y. I mean, they're both the same really, so it doesn't really matter. Big friend of the channel, Edward Groombridge, otherwise known as Metal Gear Study. He has asked, Daddy or Chips? And it's quite simple, that one. Well, if anyone isn't aware, that advert is from, I think, McCain or some sort of... Americans would call them fries incorrectly, but English would call them chips. It's come from that, I can't remember what it was now, McCain or something, like a bag of frozen chips. And yeah, anyway, so that's an easy question. My dad is a very lovely man, and he's a very lovely man, and he's pretty cool. And I love chips, so it's got to be chips. Next up, still on Facebook, Peter Benny asks, if you could design a Pokemon spin-off game that did not centre around traditional battles, what would it be about? E.g. Snap or Pinball. It is a difficult one, because I'd love a game where you literally have to catch them all without the battling in it. I don't know if that would work though, because it would feel like a normal Pokemon game without the battling. It'd still have every other element, wouldn't it? So maybe, like, you know, if there was a research-based one for that, that would be cool. I was recently watching that Pokemon Explained on Twitch, and he, in the chat, someone said Pokemon Let's Go Fishing. And that sounds like a cool idea. I'd play a Pokemon fishing game if there was some sort of, I don't know if you can do much of a story with it, but if there was something for it, you know, it was something, it wasn't just fishing, I'd play that. But yeah, hopefully that's a good enough answer. Karina Wilson has asked, the last Pokemon you fought with before answering this Q&A video is who would play you in an animated biopic of your life. Who is it? And this morning I finished the Elite Four and Champion battle on Fire Red. So the last Pokemon Blue used in that battle was, slowly getting revealed, Alakazam was the last one he used. So Alakazam is playing me in an animated biopic of my life. At least it's a humanoid Pokemon, that's alright. And I do love spoons. Someone called Natasha Forrester, soon to be Natasha Jenkins, oi oi, my lovely fiance, has asked, if you could live in any Pokemon region, which would it be, and which region would you really not want to live in? Fair enough. Yeah, she asked me this question on Facebook before I watched a video from M&J TV, which was most dangerous places to live in a Pokemon world, or something like that along those lines, which was quite good. I essentially did some research for it that I didn't intend to. So the region I would least like to live in is difficult because I love Pokemon. I love every single bit about it. So I'm going to say Alola, but that's because if I lived there, I couldn't go on vacation or holiday there. It wouldn't be special. But if I lived in somewhere like Galar, based off the UK, then I could go away on holiday to Alola and it'd be great. And as I've said before, there's a place called Postwick, or Postwick, whatever you want to call it, about an hour and a half away from where I live, and geographically on the Galar map I'm in the south. It's in, you know, you start in the south-ish, and I'm in the southeast of England. So yeah, the village there is quite quaint, and it reminds me of my village here. And yeah, I'd probably say there. I love Britain. I love, you know, I've just been on a week's holiday to Scotland to see the sights. Genuinely got a list of all the birds I saw down there on a bit of paper. So yeah, I mean, I love that. I love the British scenery. So I'm going to say I'd live in Galar and not live in Alola, just so I can go there on a holiday. Luke Forrester, Natasha's brother, asked, which Pokemon do you think is the most overrated, and which do you think is the most underrated? Underrated, I would have normally said Dunsparce, but it seems like it's had a bit of a resurgence lately, Dunsparce, so I'm not too sure. Overrated, Pikachu, yeah, because it's pretty pants. You hit it with one physical move and it's out. But yeah, overrated. People love... Greninja just won the most popular Pokemon for 2021, or, you know, for the end of 2020, you can't remember exactly when it was. And I like Greninja, but I don't think it'd be the most popular Pokemon out there. I think Mimikyu came 3rd or 4th, and that is my favourite Pokemon of all time. So that'd be... I don't know, yeah, it'd possibly be Greninja or Pikachu. And underrated... Oh, I want to go with the Galar fossils that we just got. Arctozolt, Arctovish, Dracozolt and Dracovish. Because I love the concept behind them. The concept that someone called Cara Liss, which is basically careless, has formed these fossils together incorrectly. So they've come out looking all mismatched and like hybrids of animals. But you never get told that. You never get told that this person's done it wrong. You're just supposed to think they've done it right, and that's what the Pokemon's supposed to look like. But it isn't. If you look at the 4 fossils, they're a mismatch, and her name is Cara Liss, careless. So basically it's a fossil recovery done wrong, and they're all over the place. And obviously we all know Dracovish is now, you know, with a strong jaw and vicious rend, is one of the most meaty moves in existence in Pokemon. So that's, yeah, they're the most underrated for me. And the final Facebook question is... Well, it's from Siobhan via Reese Felton, one of my old, well, say one of my old, he's still a friend, but he says, which Pokemon most resembles the fortunes of the Glod over the past 10 years? I must, yeah, for a bit of background for people, the Glod is Old Gold, which is the nickname of Carmarthen Town Football Club in the Welsh Premier League. Which Pokemon most resembles the fortunes of the Glod over the past 10 years? We won the Cup in like 2013-14, 2 years in a row. I think it was 13-14, might have been 12-13, I'm sure it was 13-14. So they've gone from Cup winners to being relegated, well, 2 years ago, because last year there was no season. So it's a Pokemon that, like, sort of 10-ish years ago was fantastic and now is bad. I can give a technical answer, which I don't know if Reese will understand, but I'll give it a go. Mimikyu had an ability called Disguise, which meant if it got hit by a move, it wouldn't take any damage, and then its disguise is busted, and then from then on it can take damage. But in Gen 8 they nerfed that, so its disguise, you get hit by a move, it takes a certain amount, it takes like a quarter of damage or an eighth of damage, then the disguise is busted, then you carry on. So the ability got a bit nerfed. Even if you're hitting it with a weak move, it will still do a bit more, so you can actually take advantage of it. So I'd say, yeah, Mimikyu is much like the Glod. I'm going to use a Mimikyu now and call it Glod or Old Gold. Right, then on to Twitter. I think I've been yammering on quite a lot, so I'll try and be quick now. I'll try. First up,
hello everyone, it's PokePidge in edit. I forgot to check my direct messages on Twitter when I did this video. I have one question in there. It is from Samurai Trainer Z, and his question is, are there any other games other than Pokemon that you enjoy, and what do you want to see at E3? Well, yes, there are other games other than Pokemon that I enjoy. I am still quite a casual gamer. However, I do consider Breath of the Wild my most favourite game of all time. It's exceptionally extensive, and I absolutely love it. But I am a massive Nintendo fan, like I say, casual gamer, so stuff like all of the Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi's Story, Mario Odyssey, all of, you know, generally the Mario world, Animal Crossing, massive fan of that, and occasionally the odd football game. I don't mind that, but I'm a Newcastle fan, so it's always difficult to win a game on FIFA. But yeah, and as for E3, I just want to see some major Nintendo games with some gameplay, like obviously Breath of the Wild 2, I'm going to call it now. I'd like to see some gameplay of that. Maybe a little bit of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and or Legends Arceus. A little bit more of that would be good. A little bit more information maybe, and if they could give us any update on the heavily rumoured Nintendo Switch Pro, that would be fantastic, because I will be definitely looking into getting that once it's around.
Ozorian Trainer, who featured on my interview questions. Coincidentally, all of the people from Twitter that have asked me a question have their own YouTube channels, so do go and subscribe to them. You know, I'll try and put them all in the description. I'll put their Twitter handles up on the video as well, so do go follow them. But yeah, Ozorian Trainer asks, are you a beer guy or a wine guy? I'm quite partial to a glass of sparkling wine around Christmas time. But apart from that, absolutely a beer guy. I absolutely love beer. You know, not like in an alcoholic way. Calm down. And I'm not going to say I'm a connoisseur, like I can tell you where the hops come from when I take it and all that. But I love a beer festival over here into UK. Love a beer festival. Just seeing, like, you know, 50 kegs behind you, then you turn around, there's another 50 kegs, and there's just like 5 or 10 people there ready to serve you a pint for like £3.20 or something. And you can taste as many as you want. It's fantastic. I'm a pale ale kind of guy, golden beer, you know. I don't mind the dark beer, it's fine. But yeah, whenever I go somewhere, I always try and get at least one local beer. Actually, I've still got one in the fridge from Scotland. Yes, and yeah, I'm a beer guy fantastically. I don't mind, you know, cheapo cans of lager, they'll do. But yeah, when it gets nearer autumn, winter time, that's when I get the bottles of beer. That's when I get them like 4 for a £5 from the local shops and things. And yeah, there's a beer called Tribute that the St Austell Brewery does. That's one of my favourites. Newcastle Brown Ale, that's one of my favourites. You know, so there's a few. I'm definitely a beer guy. Wizuko has asked, I'm hopefully saying that name right, how did you start when you had the idea for the Pokemon in real life shorts? Yes, these are really fun. I really enjoy these. They're the kind of thing that I wanted the channel to be when I started nearly 4 years ago now, actually. And I've done a few of it over the years. But like I said earlier, time is of an essence right now and I can't really do that. But the idea of them was, I actually did them all in one video, the ones I've done already, all 12 of them. I think it wasn't the Christmas just gone, it was the Christmas before that. It was around then I did Pokemon in real life. And did it all in one video. It's about 5 minutes long or so, and it was quite fun to do. And I thought I'd release them individually now, that because obviously back then I would have only had about 40 or 50, you know, subs, and now I've got 300. So I thought I'd release them now to people and hopefully spread some laughs, and they have done from the comments, so thank you for people that have watched them. But yeah, the idea of doing them is when I started my channel 4 years ago, I wanted to combine Pokemon and comedy. Because when I started 4 years ago, I was a stand-up comedian. I'd just done a competition where I got to the final, didn't quite win, which is fine, I'll take that. But yeah, I was doing stand-up comedy when I started a YouTube to talk about Pokemon, so I wanted to try and combine the both. When I started the channel, I wanted to do Pokemon and comedy and combine them, and that's what they are. I am writing more as well. I think I've got about 6 written, but again, time to record. They might be alright though, because they're shorts. I'm going to try and record them in the shorts format as well, in portrait, and see how they do. So yeah, that's how they got started. And then Fus Ro DAB asks, funnily enough, that's the t-shirt, Fus Ro DAB, go check him out, and check every one of these Twitter guys out. What are some Pokemon you always forget exist? This could be a difficult one to answer, because if I've forgotten that they exist, how am I going to know to answer them now? I think I always forget the Cacturn exists. For some reason I remember Cacnea. And for a while I wasn't quite sure if Cacnea evolved into Cacturn or Carnivine. And I just completely forgot that both evolutions existed, really. So every time I saw a Cacnea, I was like, you know, 'cause whenever I try and play a game, a Pokemon game, I try and pre-plan my party, you know, give or take the odd couple maybe changing, so I know what I'm going to do. And I always forget that Cacturn exists. And when I end up running into a wild Cacnea, I think, oh yeah, I could have used that. So pretty much those. Cacturn and Carnivine. I'm trying to think of others now. Minior, until Pokemon Snap, actually. New Pokemon Snap. Minior I kind of forgot, even though it was quite recent. Komala as well. Komala's one. And Purugly, which Pokekurt has pointed out in one of his videos before. Go follow him. That's like sort of the Pokemon fat shaming, saying that something big and chubby is going to be called ugly. I've never thought about that before until he said that, and good point. But I always forget Glameow and Purugly as well, because they haven't featured in the Pokedex, apart from the National Dex, in Gen 5, 6, 7 or 8. They're not native, so yeah. All of those Pokemon I've said. Last few questions now, and I've been talking way too much. BB Max World, Brandon over at BB Max World has asked, do you ever wash the purple suit? It's on the back of the chair right now. I've washed it once. I bought it in 2018, but to be fair, it doesn't get used much. If I do a video, I record for about half hour, so it gets used about half hour a week or every 2 weeks, and the rest of the time it's here. I should probably take it to a dry cleaner soon. There's actually one in the building where I work, so I should sort that out. But yeah, I do clean it. I have cleaned it once. Although I've got Trevor Ticklebottom's shirt up here. Fun fact, oh, you can just about see it in the corner. Fun fact, Trevor Ticklebottom has never washed his clothes. The clothes Trevor Ticklebottom wears have never been washed. Part of his charm. Penultimate question now. Landon, Infernomen, whatever you want to call him, has said, do you like trains? I think it's a almost jokey question, but I genuinely quite like trains. Yeah, I like trains. And finally, final question, probably best question of the lot here, from Alex King Krabz. Do follow him. Where would you like your channel to be ultimately? Which is a fantastic question. The only way, the best way I've ever put this is that I go to Comic-Cons. I meet people like Berkey Toby, Ace Trainer Liam, sometimes Joe Merrick at Comic-Cons and sort of say hello. And because I watch their videos, you know, the videos of those people, you know, mainly Ace Trainer Liam. He's probably one of my favourites in general across all of PokeTubing. So yeah, I'm a fan going to watch people I'm a fan going to a Comic-Con to visit my PokeTuber people, and ultimately I'd love to go to a Comic-Con as a vendor not just a customer. I'd love the channel to be, you know, a fair few thousand deep, that I can justify spending a bit of money to have myself a place at a Comic-Con, so that people can come along and say, oh look, it's PokePidge, you alright, how you doing? You know, that sort of thing. I doubt I'll ever get there, because it's been slow going, and I'm not that bothered if it doesn't. At the moment it's a hobby and I'm enjoying that, but if the channel were to ever get anywhere, I'd love it to get to the point where I can have a good full Discord. I'm going to start streaming eventually. That'll be later in the year, October time, when I pay off this laptop and I can get a proper PC. So, you know, get enough that I can get triple figures on a stream, you know, or high double figures, get a good Discord going, build a community of PokePidge fans, and have enough of it so that I could go to a Comic-Con, pay for a place to be there, and it not be wasted. You know, not that I want to be recognised or anything, I just want to build a community where people can talk about Pokemon and be friends and be happy. You know, none of the videos I ever do on PokePidge are ever negative. You know, it's always the favourites of this. It's never least favourites or disliked ones of this, really, anymore. Did a couple at the start. So I want to build a community where people can just enjoy Pokemon and talk about what they love. But yeah, that is pretty much where I want my channel to be. Good community, go to a Comic-Con as a vendor. But yeah, so that is everything I've been asked. I've been hammering and yammering and chatting on for like 25 minutes on my phone. I don't know where it's cut down to. Probably about 24.5 minutes after all that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for the 300 subs, man. That's just genuinely insane. I've got to go indoors now and start dinner, because it's 2:30 and I've got work at like 5, and that's my life now. So just about fit this one in. Gonna go inside now. It's getting hot in here. I think the sun is facing me at the moment. Hang on. Ah, yeah. Sun is right on the shed, so I'm getting out of here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for joining the PokePidge world, and there will be more to come, so keep your eyes peeled, ring the bell, and I shall see you all soon. Goodbye.